Hey, what's up guys? This is Ryan from Seek Outside, and today I'm going to show you what's in my backpack and how I pack my Seek Outside Goshawk 6300. So what I got here is a Goshawk 6300 on the breakaway frame, and when I'm going to pack my backpack, the first thing I always do is I lay all my stuff out, and I'm just going to use this side zipper and unzip this thing. This is going to make it a lot easier to pack, and you can also kind of choose where you're going to be putting all your stuff. What I like to do with my backpack here when I'm packing it is put all the stuff that I'm going to need for camp at the bottom. That makes it so that when I'm hiking in, any other clothing, knives, anything like that is accessible towards the top of the pack. So the first thing I always start with is my sleeping bag. What I have here is a Big Agnes Spike Lake 15-degree backpack or sleeping bag. This is down. I'll put that in first. Next is going to be the tent. I got a Cimarron light here. Throw that in there. And I'm going to be using trekking poles as the center pole here, so I don't have a center pole. So what I got here is this is a wingspan pocket that is one of our accessories that we sell to put on any of our backpacks. And what I'm going to be using this for is I'm going to be using this pack to get all my stuff, the Goshawk, to get all my stuff to camp. However, hiking out of camp, I'm going to be mostly just using this as kind of like a day pack here. But I'm going to be using this for storage right now and a little bit of organization. So I'm just going to pop this bad boy open, and what I'm going to be putting in here is an extra water bladder, because where I'm going, the water is a little scarce, so I'm going to be putting some water storage there. And I'm also going to be putting all my Possibles pouches. In these Possibles pouches, I have them organized, so this is kind of like water cleaning. I got the Platypus kind of Sawyer squeeze type thing, and I also have a secondary water filter, which is the MSR quick hand pump. I also got some hand warmers, a little gear tape, as well as some vinyl gloves just in case I need them. So I'm going to be putting this in here. My next Possibles pouch is going to have all my cleaning, basically my kill kit. So I have a little bit of the Caribou gear. This is the citric acid spray. I don't think I'll need it, but I always like to have it just in case there's flies or anything like that. I have the Caribou gear Carnivore High Country Predator game bags. These are for bone out, but that's, hiking in, that's usually what I'm doing. And I also have some cordage here. I have my Leatherman. I have my knife in there, as well as a Work Sharp Easy knife sharpener here. So that's in my kill kit. Throw that in there. And then I'm going to see if I can fit this in there. I probably won't be able to, but my third Possibles pouch, I have all my cooking gear. So I have my stove, my cooking ware. I have my isobutane container, silverware, as well as I keep coffee and tea in here. And then I have my toothbrush and my toothpaste in there. Now that I have my wingspan pocket all packed up, you have two options here. You can either attach this to the outside of the backpack, or you can do what I'm going to do, which is just throw it in my backpack as kind of like an extra storage organization piece. And as I said, I'm going to be taking that out of my backpack, taking my pack bag off the frame, and using that as kind of like my day bag when I'm up there. I wasn't able to fit my kitchen gear in that wingspan pocket, so I'm just going to throw that in here next. And I have a pretty solid base here. So what I have here is a DST tarp, and what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to put it in one of my side pockets. The reason why I'm doing that is because, if you're hiking up, you get some weather, get a rainstorm, snowstorm, or something like that. I like having easy access to my tarp. So I'm going to throw that in a tall side pocket here. The next thing that's going in my pack is going to be my Tyvek ground sheet. Now, if you can see, what I did here was I put an extra gatekeeper strap around it to keep this thing contained. You could use cordage or whatever, but I like having the extra gatekeeper strap just because you can use that for the backpack. I find it super handy. So I'm going to throw that in here, the main. It's a very packable item, so you can put it wherever you want. The next thing that's going in my pack is going to be my stove. So what I have here is the large U-turn. You got a couple different options here. Now obviously the stovepipe and the body and the rings and hardware and all that stuff come in this separate container, and then you got the top, the bottom, and the front in the bag here. You can either keep them all together. That's going to be a little bit more bulky of a package, but what I like to do is I like to separate the pipe and the bag, just so that you have a little flexibility with where you're throwing this thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the stovepipe in my other side pocket here. Now this was an old custom backpack, so as you can see I have the tall side pockets on both sides. The new Goshawks are going to come with the short side pocket, but you can do the same thing with the short side pocket there. So I'm going to throw the stovepipe in the side pocket, and then I'm going to, since this the front or the top, front, and bottom of the U-turn are so thin, I'm just going to slide this right down in there, and it fits perfectly in the back of my backpack. Doesn't take up much space at all. The next thing that I'm throwing in my pack is going to be my extra clothes. So I'm on the hike in. I'm going to be wearing, my main soft shell jacket, soft shell pants, probably no underlayers because I don't want to get hot. So I'm going to be putting that stuff in my backpack. What I got here is the First Light Catalyst gloves. I really love these things, especially with the stove, because they have the leather palm, and it just makes it super easy to handle that sharp stovepipe and hot things and stuff like that. So I'm going to throw those in there. I'm actually going to put these in the side pocket so they're pretty easily accessible. I have the First Light Kiln base layers here. Those are going to be going in underneath. These First Light Kiln zipped, the long underwear, they have the zipper on the side here, which is awesome for, just makes it so easy to take them off. You don't have to take your shoes off to get your long underwear off. It's great for, when it's cold in the morning but hot during the day. Throw those in there. A couple extra pairs of underwear here. And then I got my down jacket. This is going to be the First Light Brooks down. Super versatile jacket, very packable. So I'm just going to stuff that in the side pocket here so that it's ready to go when I need it. So the first aid kit is another thing that I'm always taking with me. Just make sure that anytime you go out, this is restocked. New Band-Aids if you used anything, ibuprofen, all that good stuff. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put this in my Talon that I'm going to be using. This Talon, I love it because it offers organization, as well as the Blaze Orange. If you're during hunting season, you don't have to worry about having your orange vest covered up and worry about being mistaken for an elk or something like that. So I'm gonna kind of go through what I got in here. I have my this is kind of like my toilet kit in the Talon here. Got some extra wipes. I got my bowl, my collapsible bowl to eat, and then I'm also going to put my first aid kit in there. As you can see on my Blaze Orange Talon, I have this inner mesh pocket. This is going to sit kind of on the inside in between the Talon and the pack bag. You can put a water bladder in there if you wanted to, if that's your style. But I like to use it for just extra stuff that doesn't necessarily have to be protected from water. So what I got in here is a couple extra things of cordage, as well as some extra gatekeepers. Now, an important thing that I have in here is going to be the extra long backpack gatekeeper straps. These are going to be the 36-inch ones, and these are awesome for especially if you have like meat in between your frame and your pack bag. It just allows you to get a little bit extra compression there to make sure nothing's kind of sliding around back there. The other thing I'm going to put back here is going to be my Camelus 3-in-1 hatchet and handsaw. Again, if you're taking a stove, I cannot recommend this enough. I mean, the hatchet is awesome because you can use it when you're cleaning an animal, as well as the saw. But it's going to be great for cutting up wood. I mean, this thing, especially for like a large U-turn, something where you're using smaller logs, you can just really get in there and cut up a lot of wood very quickly. So I always take this with me, and I'm going to put that just in between there. All right, so as you can see, I threw the Talon on the back here. So I'm basically good to go on my pack. I have 2 more things here that I need to put in here. So the first thing is food. So I have 5 days worth of food right here. Actually, this is an extra Caribou Gear game bag. I really like having this just in case you're ever in like bear country or need to hang your food. You know, it's very easily, you know, it's set up to do that. It's super tough. You know, you're not going to have to worry about your food bag ripping, and it's not quite as heavy as like a dry bag or something like that. So I like having that. I'm just going to cinch this down and throw it right on top here. I just like having my food up top. It's easily accessible. You know, you can always reach around and grab it, not buried in the bottom of my pack. I'm going to cinch that down. And the very last thing that I have is going to be my Thermarest Ultralight, ProLite 3. This is the Thermarest ProLite 3, and this is just torso pad. I just have that. I'm going to roll it up, and I'm actually going to stick this in between my Talon and the pack bag. Doesn't need to be waterproof. This thing is tough as nails. Now, if you're going to be hiking through a ton of brush, it may not be the best thing to have your air pad, your inflatable sleeping pad on the outside, but where I'm going, I don't really have to worry about that, so I'm going to throw it on the outside, and there you have it. So this was my late season elk hunting rifle pack dump here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Tune into the YouTube for more pack dumps, more informational content, and as always, follow us on Instagram, Facebook for the latest Seek Outside news.